So this is me in Salrey. Salrey. This is me here in Boa Vista. Um, and I've learned that aria means sand actually. So I'm in Villas na Aria, a part hotel. This is where I'm staying. Really nice. Can recommend.
On this episode of Across All Borders Going West, it's all about my accommodation in Boa Vista, 2 Airbnbs, plus an interview with a local host. If you know me and you've been following my journey, you know that I stay in Airbnbs when I can. I just love the flexibility and the privacy Airbnb gives you, especially if it is a property that I can have to myself, meaning it's a standalone apartment. It's somewhere where no one goes into, so I can feel like I'm at home. Generally, I don't have people entering my apartment in Munich, so I don't want it when I travel as well. So for me, Airbnb, having an entire space to myself is something I love to have. So let's start with the first accommodation I had. I stayed in a charming standalone bungalow, which I just showed the name of the property. And it's a shared property in the sense that the host actually lives on site. And lovely host. I didn't come with the right sweater. She lent me hers, so it was great. What I loved about this space, it was because it was bright, airy, and it was perfect for 2 guests. You had a separate kitchen, living room and bedroom, so it was self-contained, in really perfect to enjoy privacy. They had cleaners on the property that would do cleaning. I stayed 2 nights in that self-contained and then 1 additional night in a room in the main house. As of January 2025, for my booking for those 2 nights, I paid roughly 109 euros for both nights. Now, of course, you have to check what the price is right now. My second accommodation was absolutely gorgeous and I couldn't even believe the price. So it's a different experience. It's a spacious 2-bedroom apartment located closer to Timache, and it's beautifully furnished, has everything you need, and it could host up to 4 guests. I felt like it was an amazing value for money. Now, I don't know if the apartment will always be 110 euros, so 55 per night, the whole apartment, but that's what I paid, 55 per night as of February 2025. So I was really surprised about the price and I was like, are you sure this thing is real? And it was real. And I was fortunate enough to meet the co-host, Isa, whom I interviewed. She's been hosting a while in Boa Vista, in Cape Verde. And I was able to ask her a few questions about, accommodation, hosting, island life, when she would recommend people to come. Her answers are in Portuguese. So if you speak the language, it's helpful. If you turn on the subtitles, you might be able to understand it. But this is just to give you a feel of the Airbnb experience I had whilst visiting Boa Vista. That's the most cooking you've been getting from me. Hot water. And all them good stuff, It's not hot enough. Need to increase that. So there is a fruit market and so I'm going to go there and get some lemons and some ginger. It's going to be mostly what's going to go into the pot anyway, and some salt. This is hot. Okay, let's cover the pot. So this is the kitchen in my Airbnb. Isn't that really crazy? I mean, I could literally cook 10 genya menu. 10 course menu, because I was like, 10 genya? That's not English. So anyway, let me give you a little bit of a tour of the rest. We're gonna go down a little bit. So this is the living area. Okay. Never mind that, as me, I've put everything everywhere. This is the living area. Lovely dining table with 100 things on it from me. Just go to the bedroom. Of course, my suitcase is open on the floor. Bathroom. Do not mind any chaos you see. Look at that.
Isn't that gorgeous? Like, I could start singing right now, but I'm not going to. Isn't she lovely? Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a tour. And I'd flip you, but I can't because I'm holding my hot water. But look at when you enter the white. I just love the white. I just love the white. I mean, there's just something it does, you know? And Rosella, my host, is super amazing. Oh, you know the drill. Sometimes I don't really kind of like do super duper fail a lot of research. So I did not know it was windy as, I mean, like, this type of wind is not the one anybody will tell you about. If I keep quiet, you might hear the windows because I closed the window in my room. Like, this one is wind that is pulling you and your life depends on it. I walked on the beach yesterday and I was like, hey, Biko, please don't carry me. And you know me, not anywhere close to being light as a feather. I was like, Jesus. So with that kind of wind and you are wearing thin layer, hi, Jesus. So Rosella gave me a really proper pullover, which you do need in Cape Verde if you're on the islands on this side. Sal, Boa Vista, I think he said Mio, San Antão, Salvicese, they face strong winds, whereas the islands of Santiago and the ones in that way are more calmer. And you don't see nobody in the water at this time of the year. I did not. There are a few people, there are a few diehard people, and I know they came on the 2 week flight because they're like, hi, -5 in Germany, I will enter this water. I was like, hey, no, Pico, no, not with this wind. You come out and the cold from the water will even, I don't even want to know the temperature of that water. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not entering it. That water and this wind, hi, Jesus, it's beautiful to look at. But I know sure one day I will sure put my feet inside, but I'm looking forward to the water in Santiago. So I brought a yoga mat and we're going to use it. I'm going to change my bottom and spread out my mat, okay? Guys, you see the beautiful apartment I'm standing in. I am back in Boa Vista and I booked this for 2 nights, my last 2 nights. And I have the wonderful opportunity of meeting Isa, who has been hosting on Airbnb for 8 years. And she has 12 listings, which I'm going to drop the link for. So if you are interested in Cabo Verde, you want to stay by yourself, you want to learn about the locals, you want to contribute to the economy, then picking one of Isa's accommodations or other accommodations on Airbnb that are vouched for is a way to go. So I'm going to introduce you to Isa, who's here, and she's going to be answering the questions in Portuguese, but we will put the subtitles. So let's go. Hello,
Hi,
Isa.
guys. Hello.
So Isa, tell me about yourself. Where are you from? How long have you been here? Why did you get into Airbnb and why should people contribute to that?
Olá, eu sou Isa Pereira, eu sou cabo-verdiana, nasci aqui na Boa Vista, mas eu tive a oportunidade de ir para São Vicente estudar, porque Boa Vista naquela altura não havia condições para eu estudar. Foi lá que eu fiz o liceu, depois eu fui para Portugal, para o Algarve fazer a universidade, eu fiz a formação em marketing. Portanto, depois de terminar os meus estudos e trabalhar durante alguns anos em Portugal com umas empresas portuguesas, eu resolvi vir para Cabo Verde investir na área do turismo. Entretanto, quando eu cheguei aqui, eu vi que havia uma grande oportunidade de apostar na hospedagem, no alojamento local, Então eu comecei a abrir uma empresa minha. Eu comecei a alugar, a fazer gestão de alguns imóveis. No início não foi nada fácil, tive que trabalhar muito para conseguir aqueles reviews, para as pessoas começarem a conhecer o meu trabalho. Já passaram 8 anos e eu neste momento tenho 14 apartamentos, neste momento estão online 12. Portanto, é um trabalho que eu gosto muito de fazer, eu sinto imenso prazer. Boa Vista é um sítio fantástico. Eu acho que nós temos muita coisa para oferecer, além da nossa cultura, as paisagens maravilhosas, o povo que é muito maravilhoso, que é um povo simpático, carismático, que acolhe muito bem. Portanto, eu vos convido a verem os meus apartamentos, os meus anúncios, e estão convidados a vir conhecer Cabo Verde comigo.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Isa. If someone has come to Boa Vista, which other islands in Cape Verde would you recommend them to go to and why?
Ok, Boa Vista and Sal, porque quem quer fazer um turismo de praia, quer ir à praia, quer o sol, o mar, e quer vida noturna, a Ilha do Sal. Mas quem quer ter o turismo de praia, desportos náuticos, kitesurf, etc., e ter depois um final do dia relaxante, num sítio tranquilo, Boa Vista. Quem quiser um turismo rural, por exemplo, paisagens fantásticas, montanhas, o Verde, aconselho Santo Antão e São Nicolau. Quem quer ter um contacto mais cultural, mais boêmio, São Vicente, que é uma ilha cultural fantástica, muito rica, é um povo maravilhoso, é uma ilha muito bonita, que tem muito por oferecer nesse aspecto. Também a Ilha do Fogo, que é uma ilha muito bonita, que é gastronomia, tem lá o vulcão, paisagens maravilhosas. Portanto, o que é que eu posso dizer? Devo conhecer todas as ilhas de Cabo Verde, porque são todas diferentes, todas elas têm coisas fantásticas para oferecer.
Obrigada, muito obrigada.
Putting back everything into my suitcase so we can get ready to go to the airport. Of course, there are items I didn't use, the water shoe, the snorkeling gear I didn't use. This was, I could have gone snorkeling in São Vicente, but I didn't. So obviously I didn't use the gear. My yoga mat I used quite often, to be honest. I guess people would say it depends on what you define as often, but I did use it. Swimming glasses, not really. I'm more or less even grateful that I entered the water, because when I arrived in Boa Vista, I could not imagine that I would ever enter the water in Cape Verde at this time of the year. But there were places where the opportunity arose, and it was still good fun, and I did it. So now I gotta try and separate my clothes so that I can pack them in. Part of it would be folding it anyway. This box is really empty right now. I will fold and will pack them in.
I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Yours truly, Liesel81.